stain. Clean mind, sharp eyes in the moonlight train. Order stacked like cards in the deck. I wait my turn, I don't blink yet. One clean setup, that's the code I live. Half asleep, but I got more to give. Hear that tick, hear that pulse. Feel that pull in my bones. I came this far for the long game. I won't leave it alone. London calling, London calling. I'm up for the open. London calling, London calling. I want that moment. Trey clean, Trey smart. London calling, London calling. I came to earn it. Dark outside, but my plan stays lit. No lucky break. I size up grit. Read that candle, read that spread. Take the compass, keep my head. I lost before I learned that sting. Now I cut my fear on a tighter string. Every dawn is a test I choose. If I want the crown, I pay my dues. Hear that tick, hear that pulse. Feel that pull in my bones. I came this far for the long game. I won't leave it alone. London calling, London calling. I'm up for the open. London calling, London calling. I want that moment. Trey clean, Trey smart. London calling, London calling. I came to earn it. Let the night press in. Let the doubt get loud. I stayed on my feet. I stayed unbowed. One more shot at the life I chose. One more step when the market waits. London calling, London calling. I'm up for the open. London calling, London calling. I want that moment. Trey clean, Trey smart. London calling, London calling. I came to earn it. Screen still glows. A kettle cold, but my hand still goes. I'm off that range with a coffee stain. Clean mind, sharp eyes in the moonlight train. Order stacked like cards in the deck. I wait my turn, I don't blink yet. One clean setup, that's the code I live. Half asleep, but I got more to give. Hear that tick, hear that pulse. Feel that pull in my bones. I came this far for the long game. I won't leave it alone. London calling, London calling. I'm up for the open. London calling, London calling. I want that moment. Trey clean, Trey smart. London calling, London calling. I came to earn it. Dark outside, but my plan stays lit. No lucky break. I size up grit. Read that candle, read that spread. Take the compass, keep my head. I lost before I learned that sting. Now I cut my fear on a tighter string. Every dawn is a test I choose. If I want the crown, I pay my dues. Hear that tick, hear that pulse. Feel that pull in my bones. I came this far for the long game. I won't leave it alone. crowd get loud. I stayed on my feet. I stayed unbowed. One more shot at the life I chose. One more step when the market waits. London calling, London calling. I'm up for the open. London calling, London calling. I want that moment. Trade clean, trade smart. London calling, London calling. Came to earn it.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Sound check, vibe check, mic check, everything check. Looking good. I have a really cool session for you guys today. I'm going to share something very interesting with you. Hopefully you're going to really like it. How's everybody doing? Give me a mic check, sound check, thumbs up. All good? Everything good? Okay. All right, let's give it a shot. I'm going to start out right now, and I'll explain as I go along here. Just one sec. All right, we're going to take this. We're going to take this against this. And I'm going to explain to you exactly what I'm doing. On a micro scalp basis, just watching this one other thing that I want, which is, let this come down a little bit. If it comes back down like right, I missed it. All right, we're gonna let it be. All right, let's buy this here. Oops. Let's see if we can get this going here. See if we can get this result right here. All right, let me share something very cool with you. Have not updated the table just yet, but I want to share something very cool. So we've built in this little statistical model. Oops, looks like my statistical model is not going to work on this one. Let's see. We'll see. We built in this statistical model on our continuity setups. The idea basically is that, pull away candles, which are these neon green candles, and white green dots candles, which are all basically continuity trades, have a high expectancy during particular hours of the day, right? So for example, right now it's about a 70% expectancy in NASDAQ. Oh, look at this. Maybe I am going to get myself done. Let's go. There we go. But this is the coolest thing ever. Coolest thing ever. While I was doing sort of a lot of statistical analytics on the dots indicator, we ran this one test that trumps everything. That is such a cool test. The basic question is the following. If you have a dot candle, so it doesn't matter, whether it's a green dot or red dot, but let's say you have a red dot candle, and the candle after that dot candle, so in this case, this candle over here, does not violate, so this is the long side, does not violate its low. And in the case of a short candle, it does not violate its high, right? The probability of the candle going 5 points further up, 5 points higher, or 5 points lower is around 82%. What's really cool about this is that this is not static data. This actually is updated on, I guess, 3 or 4 days worth of data. Basically, it's taking 3 or 4 days worth of data. I'm actually missing this trade here as I'm trying to explain it to you. So like the idea here is, here's a candle. This one clearly did not violate its lows. If you bought this over here, the probability that it would go 5 forward was 80%, and indeed it does, right? So it's really interesting in a sense that if you want to scalp quickly, you could find trades literally almost every 5 minutes based upon this specific indicator, which is gives you even more interesting data on the near-term structures. So if you're micro scalping like I am, where I'm just I'm going to take 5 points, 5 points, 5 points, just build it, build it, build it. I have a high probability that it's that it's going to succeed. Now, the thing is that I am putzing around with this. Let's give it a shot. Let's go do one. I'm going to do one. Now I added a interesting wrinkle to the whole thing to give myself even a higher probability of success, which is that I'm coming in with a very, very small position on the first entry, and then I give myself, and obviously typically what I use is not the candle stop, but the candle prior stop, to just give myself a little more room. Again, the idea is to give myself a little more probability. But what I'm doing next is very interesting, is I'm coming in small size. If it comes in like 5 against me, I'll add just once into the position, and that gives me a much better break-even point and a resolution of the trade. So the whole idea is, like, can I resolve like 80% of my short-term scalps in small size? And on the scalp that I don't solve, I can then come in and do larger size on the next one and make it all back and make it all back and make it all back, and just kind of run it that way. What's amazing about that is that you could literally basically make on one micro contract starting lot. Basically, I'm just going to flatten this out because I'm just a little bit late on this idea. You could just basically very, very quickly, like in this particular sequence, let me just run this with you. So this is what 446. Yeah, like this is 25 minutes worth of trade. If you took this trade plus 5, you took this trade over here, then another trade minus 5, which I did, resolved over here, another plus 5. You took this trade, you got stopped out over here, legit stopped out. But then you took this trade over here plus 5, this trade over here plus 5, this trade over here plus 5, and so on and so forth. And so you can build up. If you sort of assume, plus 5, let's just for argument's sake, plus 10 trades resolves to 100. You can do 10 trades in an hour. Now you're done with your one account. You move on to the next one. You move on to the next one. You move on to the next one. And this is on a tiny, tiny basis of like a micro contract, right? Where your worst drawdown is $100, $120. You're not ever coming close to blowing up the account and doing it this way. You could absolutely get much larger size. What's really, really fascinating is because you're waiting not for the dot candle, but for the candle after, you're avoiding the reversal candles quite a lot. The essence of this strategy that's sort of like gives it such high probability is that you're avoiding the reversal candle, right? And that actually helps you trade so much better than before. Let's just give it a shot. Another one over here, because here you have a very small risk. We're basically right underneath here, right? So if this reverses, it reverses. But if it doesn't, it just gives us yet another quick scalp to the upside on this structure, right? So that's the really brilliant thing, because you know how many times you'll have a big dot candle and it gets totally reversed, and if you had just waited that one extra candle, you would have avoided a flush stop. It's not that you're avoiding all stops, but you're avoiding the flush stops, and the flush stops are the ones that really are the low. Those you're throwing away the worst trades out of your bucket and trying to keep as many of the reasonable trades and the good trades that resolve positively as you can. This one just blows up, which whatever. And that's what makes this such a cool approach. Thanks, USA. So this additional stat in here is going to make our life just that much easier. Now you can weave in a whole bunch of stuff. You can say, I'm only going to take trades with the buy blocks. I'm only going to take um, high probability, strong bullish trades, whatever you want. This is just a general guidepost of what the probabilities are for you in this hour. And it's obviously a pretty green. The reason we love London hours because London is a very, very green time for us. But this makes it even greener in a sense that you could just scalp out these conditions, and trade them any way you like. It also gives you, even in a relatively quiet market, it still gives you some opportunities. The other great thing is, how like a lot of times we get stuck in choppy markets. Well, by waiting for the dot, by the very essence of a dot, is going to create angular markets. The markets that are really, really flat don't have any dots in them, right? Like this is a very, very flat period. You don't have any dots in them. So dot by its essence means displacement. Displacement means movement. Movement means possibility of further movement. So everything plays on each other to help you succeed on the P&L. Really cool, right? You guys like the idea? It just adds that one extra rich layer of confidence for us to be able to trade well. And of course, when you have a big run of dots, right? That's exactly, it lets you participate in this whole big run of dots and capture, that big move. Like now we're basically in consolidation mode. And we don't do anything, right? There's nothing to do because the essence of this whole thing is that when there's no dots, there's no trades. Really, really keeps you out of chops, harm's way on the choppy markets. Oh, why is this not work? Why is this not working? There we go. So I'm going to trade wealth charts with you today a little bit, and then in the morning we'll trade Ola, and maybe we'll trade a little bit of Apex as well. So here's perfect example. Dot, right? Now we're waiting for this next candle. If this next candle does not violate the low, right, we're going to go long on this trade, and we're going to see if we can resolve it for a quick scalp. $37 seconds left. Now, no rush, right? The whole idea here is that, if it goes away, it goes higher. I mean, sometimes you can sort of anticipate it and say, hey, clearly this is not going to break the lows. I'm going to take the trade early, but there's no rush. Even if this could easily come back down to mid candle, that's fine. The whole idea is what you're betting on. The fact is that once you have a breakout, there will be an 80% chance of some continuity within this region. That's really what you're betting on. This next 3 or 4 minutes will produce forward action. Oops, let me actually go by it. All right, now and if it's going to come back down against me. So again, my stop is going to be right underneath here. And I just want to watch this. Okay, now I've averaged in 2 positions. If this, reverses, it reverses. It might take me out. This one might take me out. Yeah, I slept great. I slept 10 to 4. I love London session, guys. This is like my favorite. Like when I trade for myself in London session all the time. So I'm so glad to do that. And see, boom, you see how that reversed, guys? Imagine doing that 8 out of 10 times, just like watching it. That really adds up. That really, really adds up. We're going to try to run this to like 700, and then I'll come back to the other one, which I have in here, and we'll try to run that one. But it's, I'm trading again 1 micro, and then if that was going to stop me out, I would have gone 2 micro on the next one. And you could go 3. If we can go 4 micro, you could go 8 micro, and you're still never going to get close to blowout zone. But you will have, the idea is, think about this. If you're 80% accurate, so 4 in a row is, I believe, let me just count this out. 0.8 times 0.8 times 0.8 times 0.8. No. Was it? I have the wrong calculator. 0.8 times 0.8 is equal times 0.8. Oh, no. Sorry, I'm doing it the other way around. It's 20%. So 0.2 times 0.2 times 0.2 times 0.2. Yeah, the probability of me being wrong 4 times in a row is, I believe, let me see, that's 16 out of 1,000. I believe 16 out of 1,000. Yeah, no, is it 1.6? Is that right? It's 16 out of 10,000. That's really, it's 1.6 out of 100. Yeah, 1.6 out of 100. So if I'm like, blown up, if I have 100 sequences of doing this, I will blow up, once out of doing this. Now imagine, you're distributing this across lots of accounts. So yeah, maybe you burn one account to, okay, sorry, I should be watching. So here's a dot, as we talked about, does not breach the lows, right? We have 9 seconds left. Trade for me. It's totally trade for me. Let's see if we can make this trade. All right, I'm long. Boom, and it's done. See, that was super fast. I don't know what happened here, but we just blew up the move. Did that really take me out that fast? Was that it was? Yeah, it was. Boom, boom, super fast. Okay. So good, so I'm trying to get this up to 700, and then I'll move on to the next account. And that's how you do it. You just rotate it out, rotate it out, rotate it out. You see what I'm doing, guys? Okay, here's another dot. We don't trade the dot candle. We wait. First of all, wait to see if there is a dot candle. But you see, like, the probability here, and this, by the way, the really, really cool thing about this is that this is static, and I'm actually probably gonna update them both into making it dynamic. Yeah, look at this trade. This is we came into this trade and boom, it was a super quick scalp. Into making them dynamic, so that this is set. I believe, what is the what's the setting on this? Where is the setting? Hourly win rate table. Oh, this goes back. This looks back all. But if you wanted to, like, let's just say for today, you could 1,500 bars. Just like let's set that up. Oh, why is it? Oh, there it is. Look at that. So that's actually interesting. I like this is telling you that over the last 24 hours, this probability has gone down. So you need to be, a little bit more careful with this whole thing. So I don't, look at this. The greens were less than 80. So, you want to be, maybe you want to be a little bit more selective on the greens. Maybe you only want to trade the greens against the buy block. That's really interesting. Wow. You see how it updates instantaneously? I'm going to make the same thing over here. This is going to update, instead of using static data over the last X amount of days, this will give you live data over the last 10 days. The most recent data is the most valuable data because it's telling you what's going on in the market right then and right now. So one of the interesting things here is you see it's a pretty big variance, a 3% variance, 300 basis point variance between the reds winning or reds moving at least 5 points forward and the greens. That's super interesting. Wow. I was making this assumption that everything was 80%. No, like in the price action over the last 24 hours has kind of sucked balls, and this tells you right away that you should be a little bit more cautious on the trades. Okay, so here's we have a red to the downside. We're going to wait. If this candle does not violate the high, we'll take the short on this one and try to trade this forward. Yes, this is an indicator. Oh, really? I haven't any problems, Dr. D, but thanks for letting us know. Okay, how much time is it? 15 seconds left. So pretty much not violating, right? We're going to sell this. All right, this is a pretty good. I like selling it like, not at the bottom of the candle, but right at the midpoint. And as I said, I try to enhance my win rate by giving myself one extra sell if I can over here. And I'll be, if the I usually try to get it to about -10, and then I'll try to add. All right, it's close enough. And then here's where I am. I'm going to add to this position. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm going to get clipped over here. And the idea here is that basically the whole candle does not only retraces back 20% of the time. In this case, maybe this is 20% of the time where it does. We're kind of in very, very chop zone territory. But anyways, let's take a look at I like looking at the data set here. Now, the thing that I haven't thought through is what happens if you get a dot violation, and it's probably the smart thing to do is probably just to I already got blown out. I was going to say once you get a dot reversal violation like you have over here, it's probably just simply I should have simply stopped myself out, but that's fine. We're going to reverse and let's see if we're going to add a little more size to this thing and see if we can work our way the other way. Give ourselves the time to the candle to complete. All right, I'm long here. Stop's going to be underneath this candle. If this comes back down to around 56, we'll take it. If it extends, we'll take the P&L. So it's a trade-off. When I'm averaging in, it's absolutely trade-off because I'm adding size. But remember, I'm coming in at very small size, so I can always make my size back, which is why I'm happy to come in at small size. But what it does is it does help me absolutely in my win rate ratios. My win rate ratios are better. Come on, let's go already. Resolve. What's my target? 68.50. For 68.50. Come on, baby. 68.50. Sorry, what's the question? Wouldn't you supposed to wait for the next candle to not violate the moving average? No, it's just violating the candle. We don't care about the moving average. We're looking at the low of the. This is the dot candle. This candle did not violate its low. There we go. It's resolved. So, and remember, guys, I'm trading super tiny, right? Now, you could completely like turbocharge the strategy, and I'm actually thinking of doing this with one account. Like you certainly do this on the eval accounts, where you could just come in with half a lot. Like basically, if you're in a position where you know 80% of your trades are going to resolve positively, you could make $100 in 2 trades, move on to the next account, and move on to the next account, and just simply really, really harvest the P&L as much as possible, right? So like a lot of different ways that you could trade this. I'm trading it small but steady, but you can trade it large and in charge if you wanted to. Now the variance when you're trading large is always going to be bigger because you're going to hit a snag and you're going to be on large. You might be like minus 1,000 on a. No, you wouldn't. I don't think you would. Like let's say if you were 10. I'm basically 30. I think, yeah, maybe minus 500-600 would be your biggest loss on that. But if you're, plus 10 100s, you're plus 1,000 for the day. And if you manage to escape the worst of the drawdowns, you're fine. You're fine. I just, I like trading small because it gives me the higher probability of recovery. That's all. On the trade. But whichever way you want to do it, or you can even do it midpoint, it's fun because you have the stats behind you. Although this is what's really fascinating is that today those stats it's basically, the other thing is it's telling you, what is it telling you today? It's telling you that it's a pretty weak continuity day, right? The last 1,500 candles is kind of weak, right? Versus this is what I want to show you. If I go over here and I go into the settings, and let's say do it over, if I say 0, it's like it's everything. It's look back all. Let's see what it does. It takes a while, and you see how much better it was. There was a lot more continuity 2 or 3 days ago, and today the continuity is much weaker than it was a few days. So that's a really good warning sign to you, telling you that today could be a treacherous day. You don't necessarily want to get large. There's like a lot of very, very cool insight you can have with the analytics that are going on. And you see, like today is a very just 2 steps forward, 3 steps back on almost every trade that you see. But we're still plugging away and chugging away on this. Oh, another dot. So the whole idea is the dot gets us ready for a possible trade, right? And if you're looking at me, you're seeing, when do we start? Oh, it's been a half an hour. We already started for half an hour. Yeah. You can see like how well that worked. We just keep adding. I mean, the idea is like, can we do 100 in this 1 hour? We'll see. This is a pretty treacherous day today, so I might, at 25 against me, it's not nearly as good as 20 against me. So I'll have to. Hopefully, we'll get a little bit more continuity in this trade. The other thing that I wanted to share with you that is really, really a great thing, and actually, it's another thing that I could absolutely give you a dashboard on. It feels like I'm going to just create a whole bunch of statistical dashboards, but those are really, really valuable. The best, highest probability setup that I've seen in terms of continuity is turning candle against high probability candle. So what I mean by that is yellow followed by a white dot or a a green candle, or a blue followed by a red dot or a purple candle. This one actually fails, right? But literally every single, if you look back over the cool thing about this particular setup that I really like is it's only like once every 15 minutes. So you don't have to, if you're not a crazy micro scalper, this really sets you up for some really beautiful ideas. It's a combination of what Dr. D does and a lot of stuff, but with a super extra turbocharge possibility, which is this. So here we have a whole bunch of yellow candles, right? Telling you turning, ignore the yellow candles. You have a whole bunch of yellow candles. You don't have any greens against it, but then you have a blue candle, which is like a rally candle, and it gets completely reversed. You short over here, the blue purple or the blue red combo, super, super high probability, right? As is, and let me find it. Not exactly impressive, but here's a yellow green. It does pop up for at least 5 points, so you certainly have it. Here's a yellow. No, there's nothing here. I guess yellow, if you waited over here to the next green, it doesn't matter what's in between, as long as you have that syncopation between the sell-off candle and the burst candle, you have a really, really good possibility of success. Here's another good example of this. Yellow against green, and obviously the stop over here extends forward, right? Blue against this one, this fails. This one fails. Like right now, if you were looking at yellow and you were looking for a green reversal, you would have a lot of confidence, but you're not getting that. Dr. D says he does it without within the consolidation box. I think that, that's fine, but generally the very essence of the reversal move is usually going to be good enough to make it happen, right? Okay, so here we finally get we haven't had a dot candle in about 6 or 7 minutes, which is exactly what I'm talking about. That we stay away from chop, and now we have the secondary candle. Now, if this candle takes out the highs, which it probably looks like it's going to do, right? Yep, it invalidates it. It totally invalidates the move. So now we don't have anything to do, which is fine. Instead of us jumping into, just for argument's sake, I want to jump into this candle and getting stopped out, we stand back. This is what I mean about these trades eliminate the most toxic of the reversals, which is that's the hardest part. What we hate is drop, up, drop, right? We hate the up and down move because we just simply get caught in absolute chop. The very definition of chop is you drop and pop, or you pop and drop. And this tries to eliminate the pop and drop as much as possible by putting that rule in, saying, hey, if you violate the highs, boom, and no problem. I'm happy to wait until the next pair of candles pops up. So it really helps us filter out the price action to the best possible ability, which is so fucking cool, So, it's a quiet session. I'm not even looking at gold, guys, just because, I really have a hard time. It's not that gold is not tradable. And by the way, last night in Asia, if you guys traded with me, yes, I actually managed to resolve that trade. That trade tortured me, but I actually managed to resolve that trade and make it. But I just, I either want to trade NASDAQ or I want to trade gold. I cannot trade both of them at the same time. It's very destabilizing for me because I like to watch the price action of one instrument. And whether, sometimes it's bad, the days are just not good, but I'd rather spend watching shitty price action on one instrument than trying to jump around, trying to find, the best play of the day, because then I lose my focus. It's a personality choice. A lot of people really can trade 3 or 4 different instruments at the same time. Well, I don't. All right, so here we go. So like this is a good example. We're gonna trade this because this is a sort of different variant because we have lots of different ideas here. But here's a yellow candle reversed by the white dot. If the dot holds, obviously it's got to hold, and that presents us an interesting reversal move with the stop over here at the bottom. So we'll see if we can take it. It's got to hold 5 seconds. Boom. I'm in the trade, and let's see if we can hold behind it. And it's sort of it's going to be easier to sort of see the whole idea here. So yellow against this. Do we want to extend the move here? We'll see. Or maybe this is such chop today that the yellow white is not turning for ourselves. We'll see. I think what's the target on this? 66.25. It's very choppy price action, right? I mean, like we actually just basically been trading 5-point ranges the whole time, and I'm just trying to extract some direction out of a very, very lackluster London trade today. Yeah, but it is what it is. Oops. Oh, we got clipped. So this got completely reversed. And by the way, shit, the other way around. Sell, sell, sell. Why is this? Why do I want to do a sell? Because this takes the blue with the purple, right? This is the trade now I want to be in because now we just completely reverse the thing, and I want to be against the purple. Now, could I get stopped out the other way? Absolutely, but hopefully we get some directionality on this. This just sort of, this is I'm trying to follow the logic of where these things go, but I could be just getting stuck on these boxes all day long here. We'll see. Let's see if I can get this resolved the other way. I was a little bit, this was a very, very quick flip to the other side, and it may flip me the other side because this is just really, really chop city. And I've seen this price action all time where one dot followed by the next dot, not really doing anything. And I took the bait on boom. I took the bait on this, but the problem was 55. This dropped really, really fast. This was my profit, and I did not capitalize on it. So I may just simply get reversed again. We'll see. I'll hold against this high. If it blows me out, it blows me out. We'll trade again. Yeah, the new upgraded candles really, really make it easy to see, the quality of the price action that's going on over here, which I absolutely like. Yeah, it's really, really cool. But look at this choppiness, man. We're like, white dot, purple dot is like the emblematic of us getting killed, which could be this definitely showing us the choppiness today, and we can actually see this in the data too, right? What's my target on this? 47. Jesus, I'm really far away. Right? I mean, far away given how shitty the price action is. But let's see if it starts to, if they start selling it a little bit here. Yeah, today look at the price action today. It's like a 10-point range for the last hour. We've been chopping around here, and I'm chasing my tail, left and right. This really sucks. Really, really sucks. I think I got tagged out. I'm gonna flatten out on this. I'm gonna flatten out on this. This is not a trade I want to be in. We'll come back to this structure. This will break one way or the other, and when it does, we'll find the play. Okay, back to okay. So I flip back to, enough of the blue purples at this point. Um, I'm essentially gonna here's the dot. Here's a dot. Did not get this one. Did not get violated. I'm underneath here. I'm trying to trade this continuity trade here forward. Let's see if it's gonna work for me. But there's no doubt that we're just basically trapped in this chop. And when you get this kind of chop, you just don't have any. Okay, I'm buying this, sticking to my rules, seeing if I could resolve this. Maybe we're just in a meat grinder today where nothing is going to resolve ourselves until the range breaks highs. Look at that. Yeah. We've basically been trading this 65, 45, 20-point range and buying the highs, selling the lows because my whole idea is a continuity trade and it's just not been continuing, right? Okay, now watch. I'm going to show you how persistence pays, right? Hopefully persistence pays. Getting up to this. Come on, Jesus, let's go. Trying to get that 5 points, and it's teasing me. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. So let's look at this for 1 second cleanly. So I want to sell this again against this move here. All right, good. You see, I'm getting it all back because finally, we're getting directionality, right? So we had to suffer all of this choppiness, and I went off the reservation because I started trading a different setup. But had I, just sort of stuck to let me just trade the dot, I would have been okay. I would have been okay because this has been the only. This failed. This failed. This is the only one that would have been a stop out, which was fine. And these all succeeded. And these continue now to succeed now. So let me sell this again. And if this comes back up against me over here, I rushed my trade here, and I'm going to eat this one. I'm just getting myself killed today. Okay. Fair enough. I had the trades here. I had the trades here. I should have waited because this one invalidated this move, but it is what it is. I rushed the trade. I'll come back to this. Try to work it. Okay, here comes a. I'm going to wait for the next dot, the next candle. I'm going to try and resolve it then. The biggest enemy of us today is just this. The range here has just been horrible. And I played it badly because I'm kind of, just trying to get a handle on the actual trade. But the range itself has been really, really horrible. No excuse because I should have been able to read the range better. But now I'm just lock in for the next 45 minutes, see if we can get some of these trades resolved properly. So right now we're gonna have a dot, no signal, nothing. We're just waiting for a dot and then a candle after that. All right, comes a purple candle. Let's make sure that it holds. The other thing you could do, I haven't tested this, but I think it makes absolutely imminent sense, is you could just look at the order block as your general directions. In other words, if you took all the buys on this thing, you had absolutely no problem. And now the dominant trade is the sell block. And maybe only you want to take the red dots when the whatever is the most recent dominant order block is. That's the one that's helping you push the direction in. You add another component of success, in your favor. I was actually just thinking about this, and it makes enormous amount of sense. We can probably play this back. Let's see if we can play this back and just see if we let the order block dominate our trade. So you don't have an order block here. Okay, here's a sell block. Sell trade, sell trade, sell trade. Okay. Boom. Now we get into a buy block. You're in here. You're in here. Oh, no. You got blown out over here. But that was a really, really tough trade because it just basically clipped you out. It came right back in. The buy is still dominant. Okay. So now you're over here on this buy block. Oh. No, the buy blocks are not really helping. Today is just a day of, look at this. Now it turns into a sell block. Get a little bit of continuity. Those work. And now you get the buy blocks. And you get the continuity there. Yeah, it's mildly helpful, but not 100% helpful, just because today is just such a choppy day. Jesus. Okay, this trade, see, like this trade completely blew up against this red dot, so wouldn't have taken the trade here. But the still sell block is still operating, so the next red dot worth our time. That's a good question. On the dynamic side, that's actually a good question, Fantasy. I could try to. I think I could try to code it where it's dynamic to the price action. You know, I could try that. Yeah. It's a good question. That way, all of this could be dynamic to whatever price action you want, so you get the stats dynamically. I think it's possible. I'm going to work on this so that if we have that functionality, if I can have that functionality, I'll incorporate it before I update it. It's a good question. All right, 17 seconds left. This candle obviously holding the low, basically, is the whole idea. Let's go long here. Let's see if we can get an extension. Remember, it's only been 76% today. It's been a really, really pretty horrible day today in terms of extension. So this whole idea that was very exciting is actually kind of crappy today. All right, I'm getting, let's see if I can get this resolved, or I'm going to just eat my way to look at this, just reversal city, just zero fucking continuity today. Wow. Market is just completely non-directional. And that may be, just look at this. London is definitely not calling today. Today has just been a really, really bad day of discontinuity. I'm going to eat it again. Yeah, man, just look at this. Wow, just total discontinuity. All right, we're going to go again. I think it's going to actually break now, finally, this range. Yes, finally getting a little continuity range here. Okay, 16, 17 seconds. Gonna wait on this candle against this. 29. There we go. We're starting to pick up a little bit more steam on this move here. Just we had to suffer this very, very ugly, ugly chop, but don't despair. My point is that you will sometimes suffer very, very ugly hours, and the next 2 hours could be really nice and clean up and down, and you'll make it all back. I'm pretty confident actually that by the time we get to New York, I'm going to bring this account back. But clearly just got completely chopped out around today. And sometimes I think it's actually really good to have really bad sessions, because you need to be able to see how you could survive the bad sessions in order to come back and triumph on the good ones. I'm gonna lower my size here a little bit, but I think look at this. If I just kept pressing this, the whole idea is once you leave chop and you've gotten you've survived the chop, you can really, really press your trades, because they are definitely going to extend, in your direction. So it took a long time to kind of get these. So we had a sequence here. I got caught up, on the bad sequence here. We had another great sequence here. Now we're just going to pause it up. Generally, if I have like 3 or 4 dots in a row, I want to pause on the sequence and wait for for a fresh sequence of dots to occur. If I have 3 dots in a row, generally means I'm going to have a retrace move, and I'll wait until it happens. I'll wait to reload. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the next dot to appear before I kind of reload my strategy. But if you trust the process, it will come back. It will bring you back really, really fast. I mean, a huge part of my trade today was a lot of execution errors and some bad luck, but we'll survive it. Yeah, Phoenix, it's something that I definitely I'll try to see if I can make it dynamic. I think I can, because everything is in arrays. So this will be really cool. Like if you can go on a 2-minute chart and stuff like that, it should be able to give you the data. I don't know what it's going to do right now if I went to the 2 minutes. See, it goes like that. But I'm going to see if I can beat the warning here. All right, let's focus now, just sort of like on the next setup. So we have dot resumption, candle going down. So we finally just kind of unwound this big rally, coming back down to the VWAP. 11 seconds left. So our setup here is the next candle. If the next candle survives the high of this dot, we'll short it. And if it doesn't, which it does, see, it invalidates it, we're not, no worse for the wear, right? No worse for the wear. Okay, next big red candle. I want to violate my own rule here, just because this was a really, really quirky move, and then it just came back down. I'll wait. Like the point is, being patient on these setups definitely helps you. Not only does it help you, but generally you see what happens is if this candle kind of like survives the high, it's going to put me in a pretty good position. And if it doesn't, then I really shouldn't have been. Look at this. And now see, like trying to commit myself to a sell over here would have been stupid as hell. I would have gotten stopped out. It's basically reversal time. What this setup helps you do is avoid is avoid the quick reversals, which is exactly what, what's happening right now. Wow, look at that pop. What happened? 15, just total. Whoa, look at this. They swept the Bears big time. Whoa, was there news? Are we hitting some news here? What's going on here? Let's see. Trump working on a deal with Iran. That's what it is. It's news. You know what? Let's go long. Let's go long. Buy market, buy market, buy market, buy market. Just for shits and giggles. News. Let's chase this news. Let's chase this news. Give myself a little more room here. Come on. Chase the news. Chase the news. Chase the news. So this is not a any kind of a technical setup, but I love chasing the news when we have a chance, because you see the momentum completely reverses. And you can actually literally see this in the price action. We basically brought the whole thing right back. Right, we brought the whole thing right back to essentially minimal stuff. Now we'll chill out, come back to like a normal size here, and see if it can hold the news. Now we're just basically trading the shit. Now let's look at that. Should have chased it a little bit more. Well, we dug ourselves out of a hole, so that's good. Okay, now post news, this strategy should be sort of like the best structure for us, because there's a reason for why we want to buy. It's $4. So let me just buy this. Okay, so I'm in the trade. The stop is underneath this dot. We obviously held the lows, and come on, let's go. Come on, hit me. Jesus, that's my target. Okay. All right, buy. Oops. Oh, did we buy again? And it just resolved for me again? Come on, what happened here? Ooh, that was a weird move here. What happened? Oh, it stopped me out. Shit, that stopped me out on a tick. All right, let's do it this way. Jesus Christ, what massive volatility on this thing. Oh, it sucks. I didn't see what was happening. Okay, we're gonna stay on this candle. Nope. All of the news got unwound. Sorry, guys. Shit, I thought it hit it. I guess it hit me down and then it hit me up. That was really, really annoying. Okay. This invalidates this candle, so we just wait. Who was this saying? Somebody was saying, "Oh, Trump tweets it's quiet in London. Trump is not going to affect us." I guess he affected us. Blockade lifted by Labor Day. Huh. Oh my God. Yeah, the news is definitely getting unwound here. Let's see. Let's watch for what happens next. Well, the short ratio improved. That's nice. We got 20 minutes. Let's see if we can get any price action going on over here. This is the news breakout consolidation. Let's see what they want to do. Reverse it or extend it. Feels like they want to reverse it. Market going back to sleep. I think, do we have ISM services today? I think we do. I have ADP today too, I think. All right, I am going to, if this holds, we're going to try and trade the continuity here. I don't know. I no longer try to call tops and bottoms on the markets because you never, it's just a sucker game. Trying to trade it's hard enough to try to trade the next minute these days. You can see how, Chop really killed me today. Let's see if I can just extract this is the trade I'm trying to trade right now. This is the yellow with the, the white, the white continuation, basically sell off into white. I can't even get the 5 fucking points today. This is unbelievable. I can't get the 5 fucking points in this trade today. All right, I'm underneath here. If this takes me out, it takes me out. It's been that kind of day today. Wow. It is dead. Usually London is, it tends to have some really, really good flows and continuity. There's just been no continuity trades at all today. It happens, like statistics only tell you what happened yesterday. Things change, markets change, and you have bad days. Got to try to survive them. We'll see how the New York session does. All right, we are going to sit underneath here, and if it comes back down, it comes back down. We're taking the proper setup here. If the news unwinds, the news unwinds. Yeah, it's just I'm going to be eating all these trays right now. Yeah, it's just nothing. Just no continuity. News is totally unwound. I'm giving my one last move here against this moves over here. And if it totally chops me out, that'll be the end of the session today, guys. It's just been a bad session. All right, recover a little bit of movement here. I will recover the rest of this. The problem is, I know I'm going to recover this off screen. I hate having to fuck this up on screen today, but that happens a lot of times. On screen, the market is bad, and then off screen, I'm going to get all this back. So I'll see you guys in New York. I'll let you know how my New York where I am at the New York trade. But today was just a day where we got led by our nose. It happens. It happens. That's why we trade every day. So tomorrow hopefully will be a better day for all of us. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with me. Let me wrap this up today and come back to you guys at 8 o'clock in New York. We'll trade then. Everybody have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.